Hey guys, it's Victoria here. Welcome back to another episode of Validated by Victoria. I'm really excited for you guys to meet this special guest. He's like near and dear to my heart. We grew up in the same small hometown in North Carolina. Like, I can't believe how fast he's grown on like all platforms. He was the biggest Vine star and top 4 creator on Vine. Then he moved to TikTok, where he has over 1 million followers, and Instagram, where he has over 700,000 followers. He's just popping off with his Southern Mama hospitality. And I cannot wait for you guys to listen to his story and listen to how he grew on both platforms. He is just a heartwarming person and a good person inside and out. His name is Alx James, so I can't wait for you to listen to the interview. I'm here with, oh my gosh, this has been forever.
It is. Your number one fan.
Alx, I feel like we used to call you Alx in high school.
I always spell my name out ALX, right?
How many times do people call you Alx?
Yeah, or Alx.
Alx.
Yeah, that's what, you remember Annie Now?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's literally all her and Bethany Bethune. Yeah. They used to always call me Alx.
Y'all, this is like a blast from the past. We're talking like 15 years ago.
I
feel
like
old as
15.
freak. I feel old as freak. I don't even want to reveal my age. But anyways, so you got really big on Vine, and now like you're big on TikTok and you're big on Instagram, and you do your hilarious skits. I remember I saw you on Vine and I was like, oh my gosh, hello. And then you just blew up so big, and I'm like, yes, I'm all for like hometown, like really good people just blowing up, and like that was you. Like what happened? Like how'd you start on Vine?
Say that again.
How'd you start on Vine? Like what? Like
literally, I felt like I had met every crossroad there was to meet. Like I hate to say the word famous, but you know how you have this inspiration in you, since the beginning. Before, I'm sure you had the same type of inspiration where you just felt that not only did you want to do more, but you felt that you were going to do more in your life and it'd be at a bigger scale. Well, I didn't know if that was going to be in volleyball. I didn't know if it was going to be in music, but I just wanted to find my way. Well, girl, I met every crossroad. I literally dropped out of college for...
Wait, where were you at, Barton?
I went to Kean University. It was Kean in New Jersey, and played for a year.
I feel like after 12th grade, I don't know what happened to like anyone in the hometown, because I was just like, what? I got to get out of here. That was like my major goal. So like I just lost touch, and then I just remember seeing you like randomly on the app, and I'm like, wait, what? And I remember showing TJ, my brother, and we were just like giggling. TJ's married.
What?
He's living his best
life. Does he
life.
Still play the guitar?
Yeah. He spends all his money on a guitar. Guys, we're talking about my brother TJ. But yeah, like he spends all his money on guitars. He's always buying something new.
As he should.
Yeah, but he's married now. Like, and I'm like, I'm still single. But it's cool. So you went to college. Like, you're gonna play volleyball?
So I played volleyball in New Jersey, and then Barton, here in Wilson, was actually beginning their first men's program of volleyball. And I was just like, oh my God, like I want to go back home anyways. So came back home playing volleyball, and I was just like, this is what I want to pursue. I want to go to the Olympics, because before, high school, like my junior, senior year, I was on the junior Olympic volleyball team. And I was like, this is what I'm going to do, whatever. Met my crossroads. I was like, you know what? I'm so over school. I literally just dropped out and started to pursue music, went and auditioned for American Idol, got my little ticket, and then didn't make it past the round.
Skirt. What is that? When? What? Where? How?
Girl, now I was thinking in the choir.
Oh, you know what? Okay, hold on. We're gonna like show this like when it gets edited on the YouTube. But I have photos from choir.
Oh my God. Okay,
Caroline.
First of all, guys, oh my God, Caroline and Sarah.
Look, from choir. I was like, yeah, I gotta pull these up. Like you and Sarah.
I have that photo on my Facebook still, and that
I found it on my Facebook, because you just never delete photos on your Facebook. So that was in choir class.
But your Facebook has been glamorous since the beginning. Like y'all do not
extra.
understand, dude. Victoria, listen. When I went to other schools, I would literally talk about you. I'm like, y'all, I go to school with this girl. Her name's Victoria Vetch. Like, look at her photos. They're like, oh my God, I've seen her before. You go to school with her? Like, you were literally famous before now everybody knows who Victoria is.
So it's just this mindset that I had when I was in high school. And I'm like, and you probably felt the same way. Like, there's just something more that I have to give the world. And it lies beyond the borders of good old Williston, North Carolina. Right. And I love my hometown, and I love North Carolina. I love going back. But for me, it was just like I needed to grow. I needed to get out. And the Lord has definitely blessed me.
You had the biggest supporter in the world, which, rest in peace, your mom.
Yeah,
I mean, seriously, like, when you told me that, my heart dropped. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Like, your mom is the one who took my senior photos. You remember that?
Yes. Oh
I
my
went out
gosh.
to your house, or when I went out to your, y'all had like 9 homes. It was one of your homes out in Rocky Mount somewhere. And yeah, she took my freaking senior photos.
I forgot about that. My mom was always on some photography stuff. I tell you what. But I mean, even though it would like slightly embarrass me, and I would still put it out there, and she was like, "You got to keep doing this." Like, it eventually worked out. Like where I am now.
Literally, I mean, stunning. Like, Victoria, you have always been stunning. But like, literally, your mom. You what?
I've definitely had a glow up.
You grew up when you were like born. What do you mean?
Done.
You never had a downtime.
I go back and look back at photos, and because I was finding those photos, and I was looking back at photos from high school, and I was like,
well, you did go through a year where you had braces, so you didn't want to. Girls don't want to show they have braces.
There was like a whole time in high school where because my teeth were like a little messed up, not gonna lie, a little messed up, and I just didn't want to smile. So like all my photos are not smiling, and now like I smile all the time, but I just think it was funny in high school. I was just always like,
Mahoney girl. Well, you had the model pose, so you killed it.
So when did you start this first Vine of yours? Like, when did it happen? I just remember Waterbugs.
Honey, Waterbugs was what set it off. Okay. But the beginning of it was I started in March of 2013. In March, April, by the middle of May. So I was up there for like 2.5 months. I was hit like 300K. And then I was like,
the first video? Like, how did it happen? I'm always curious.
Dude, okay. They used to have this on Vine. They would have this page called, it was the For You page, but also trending videos. And somehow my first video that popped off was where I was sitting in line and somebody behind me honked their horn, and I said something about, I'm trying to eat my salad. I'm vining and trying to eat my salad. And the next day I like scroll over and my video is on the trending page. And I'm like, what? Like, that's insane, because at the time I was working as a vet tech. Well, a vet assistant, but my job title was a vet tech. And I literally was just like, okay, you know what? I'm going to every single day on my lunch break or on the way to work, I'm just going to start making videos, making these little vines. And lo and behold, every single video I made ended up on that little trending page until I got enough followers where I like went on it was called the popular page, was like where the big videos were. And then when my video made it on the popular page, that was probably like 4 months in to me actually even being on the app. And once so I started in March of 2013, and I left my job in November of 2013. So I was
you were just full-time creating.
Turned into full-time creating, and then I moved to LA in January of 2014.
Yeah, I remember seeing you in LA, because I remember seeing your Vine, because I had it for a little bit, and then I saw that you were in LA. I mean, I kind of followed you secretly, I was a fan. But you know what? I'm going to let you know. His personality, Alex's personality, all through high school, like everything, it was just so magnetic. And so, I mean, you're just destined to like do this. And like, I even showed my assistant your videos, and she was just like, I love him. She doesn't even know you. She's like, I love him. And I was just like, you just have like this, God-given, just like magnetism that just really attracts people to you. And you've always had it. So like, I'm not surprised that overnight you'd eaten a salad from Vine to whatever blew up.
Right.
But what happened? Because if Vine, I guess they got sold out.
So what happened was the top 20 creators, and at that time I was number 4 on the freaking app by myself, just sitting in the car. Like everybody else, in LA is doing little skits, like King Batch and all them do little skits. And I'm just by myself, made it to number 4 on the app. So we all signed a paper, and like the top 2 or 3 that was on the app took the paper to Vine, because Twitter bought Vine in January of 2013 before it even popped off. So they took it to Twitter, and they were like, look, either start paying the top 20 creators. They had like a whole, it was $1 million contracts, like huge contracts. And they said, start paying us or we're leaving and going to Facebook, because at that time, Facebook was really ramping up the monetization. I mean, people were making $200,000-$300,000 a month off of Facebook, which now they've limited it to where you can only make $30,000 a month, which it sounds great, but for somebody who's making that much money and then can only make $30,000 a month, that'll cut you. So Twitter denied it, and they went around the bush. They acted like they were the first time. They kept waiting because they wanted to stop us from leaving the app. And I wasn't just going to end it to begin with. I was just like, you know what? Vine made me. I'm going to stay true to the platform. But yes, it would be great to be compensated for, keeping their app thriving instead of having to do brand deals. The brand deals are great, but I would love to just, focus on content, but you got to make money.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they ultimately denied it. And the biggest creator that was on the app quit posting and moved to Facebook. Meanwhile,
who was that?
Do what?
Who was the biggest creator? I forget Vine.
King Batch was number 1 on the app.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, first it was Jerome Gerard. I don't know if you remember him, the French guy. He was smiling. He was like always happy. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and Brittany Furlan.
Yeah, I still see her on
Nash
TikTok.
Greer.
I don't know what happened to him.
There was a lot of just like really big, people up there. Anyways, they all left, went to Facebook. I kept posting up there, but I knew the engagement dropped by 80% in less than 2 weeks with none of these people posting.
Yeah.
So instead of going to Facebook, I moved to YouTube and built up my audience there until, it was literally like I had met the most depressing point in my entire life. Like literally depression was eating me alive. And my therapist at the time told me, she said, you need to get everybody out of your life. You need to try to find a centered place where you're going to be, whether that's not going to be LA, whether it's going to be home. And then she said, you need to find a spiritual path.
Yeah.
And whatever path that is, if it's Jesus, it's Jesus. If it's Buddha, it's Buddha. Well, Jesus was the only one that answered for me. So I changed my freaking life. I got everybody out of my life, and I moved back home in 2017. And it has
you're
been
back in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has just been an upward battle since 2017. And, just really finding my mental health and doing as much research about how to sustain a healthy life. And then, finding all out about gut health and how important that is of your overall, thinking and everything.
That's so true. It starts in your stomach.
Do what?
I've heard it starts in your stomach. So
95% of our serotonin and the dopamine comes from our gut. Like literally never knew that. And then TikTok came around. So I was like, oh my gosh, we got another little platform. And in 2019, I think is when I started posting to TikTok. And then about 2020, right before the pandemic and everything, I kind of started going hard, but it was more of like the kind of Vine style of Alx, like more of the sassiness. And I don't know if you knew, I quit cussing back in 2016. Like I just removed it from my life. And I was just like, this is not what I want to portray to the world. There's other ways, you can communicate instead of saying BITCH this and whatever. So it really was so hard for me to try to come back as Alx James that was on Vine when I don't really cuss anymore. So I really was moving towards the character-based stuff. And, just kept trying different little things until the Southern Mama popped off, and that's what I do now.
I love the Southern Mama. It just relates.
Yeah, and that's only about like 8 or 9 months old. Like really? I think I posted my first Southern Mom video last year around October, November. So it's not even, been a year old.
Who's the inspiration for Southern Mama? Your mama?
Girl, it's a mixture of my mom, her sisters, and just people grow. Because, I played sports all the way through school from the beginning to the end.
He was a basketball star, y'all, because he's tall. Wait, how tall are you again? You're like 6'5", 6'6",
6'5".
Yeah.
Yeah, girl.
He's tall.
Don't play around. We know you're a little soccer star.
Oh,
I see you on the soccer field.
Yeah,
you were great.
But I went NBA dancing after. Like I've lived a weird life, but I love it.
Dude. And I saw that you were what pageant? What island was?
Oh, I don't know. But I was first runner up at Miss North Carolina.
You were?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, look at you. Wow. Wait, so how do you do that again?
No, I've aged out. Unfortunately, I'm 29 now and you can't do it anymore. So, but at heart, 30. I'm like 21. So
you what?
At heart, I'm 21. But
well, same. Yeah. I'm 30. So
TJ's 31, and I'm like, who have you been? You still feel like 18. Like, we all still feel like kids. But you know what?
Does he have his long hair?
It's the young guy. No, because my brother's a cop now, and his wife's a deputy too. So like they're both like in a little world. They're like perfect. I love I've hated all his girlfriends throughout the years, and then she is like amazing. She's like my sister. So I really blessed
awesome.
to have him. Mama V loved her, so they got married still when Mama V was alive. So
awesome.
That was great. But gosh, crazy. So TikTok, Southern Mama, and you just been popping off, and then you went on Instagram, did Instagram Reels, popping off too. So it just kind of restarted again.
Basically restarted again.
But that's how you know that it's you. Like, it's you. Because some people, they'll get on. I mean, there's some people from Vine. Like, I remember, some of those people that now they're kind of, gone. But I'm so glad you continued it.
I know. A lot of people, I think, you just kind of find your calling, or you might do something for a little bit and then you realize, I don't want to do that anymore and I want to go back to school. And that's actually what a lot of creators did, and they have great jobs and are doing what they love. And I'm like, perfect. That's exactly everybody.
But everyone finds their path. Yeah. And you talked about mental health and the industry, and I think that's so important too, because a lot of people think creators are machines. And now since I've started creating, I know a lot of brands, a lot of people are just like, oh, you can pump it out. And I'm just like, I'm not a machine, I'm a human. And then you're talking about removing negativity from your life, being in LA and then coming back to North Carolina. Look, I've been in LA a lot too. I don't think I could ever live there. So bless you for living there. There's some great people there, but could never. I love being in Florida now. I've surrounded myself with really good people. I think I'm just an East Coast Southern girl for life. But I've been in that phase right now where I've been removing negative people, and I feel like the Lord is like, hey, take this person out of your life, or just arm's distance, this person isn't for you, and then He's blessed me with other things. So I feel like you kind of went from a dark situation, and I'm just from the outside looking in, from what you said, and going from that dark situation and now blossoming again in the Carolinas. And there's not many creators in the Carolinas, so you're one of a few.
I know. That's how I felt too. I was just like, you know what? They're one of the biggest people that's followed on the internet is from Greenville, which is Mr. Beast.
Oh yeah.
I had no idea that he was, in Greenville until about 2 years ago. And his whole little friend group, have completely blown up. So we definitely put NC on the map. Yeah. And from our hometown, you remember that Martha Hunt? that was
Yeah, isn't she like a
Victoria's
secret
Secret.
model? Hey, like people are
Yeah.
blowing up from the 252. I'll tell you what.
Right.
You know, that 252 blow up. But it's, you know, it's because people in Eastern North Carolina, for majority, there's some, you know, but majority of people in Eastern North Carolina are like good-hearted people. And then, like when people meet me, they think, oh, you're like a typical Miami girl. I'm like, well, first of all, I'm not from Miami. And they hear my accent. I'm like, I still have the Southern accent through the years. It hasn't gone away. And yeah, people are like, all right, you're from North Carolina. Like, you're a good person. But
Dude, and you had I hate to say it, but you have had such an opportunity to be that mean girl. Like I say, you literally are like the definition of beautiful, like coming from a great family. Like you literally like embodied what I wanted to be when I was young. Like, I'm telling you, I was so admired with just your beauty, and like the life you came from. It's just, I mean, literally stunning.
I feel like the haters back in high school have been my motivators. And, you know, it's funny because I've had like some people from high school, they have like 5 kids now, which is kind of funny to me. I'm like, not me.
Living that life.
I know, but bless y'all. Like, you do your thing. And like, some of them will message me and like ask for advice. You know what? I'm always going to be kind. I'm always going to be forgiving. Like, I just never lived my life with like an ill will in my heart. And I feel like that's what's taken me far. You know, I joke about a villainaire sometimes, but I don't think I could ever be a villain.
Dude,
I'm just a giggly,
you were just like
person.
One of my friends, Kayla Collins. I tell her, y'all are like the same person. That's what I was meaning. Like, you could be mean, but you like don't have that bone in you.
No,
like
I
you just easily. You're just so kind, so nice. Like,
thank you.
You are a breath of fresh air, and you've always been.
This is a great way to start my day. Thank you. But so have you. Like, always magnetic. Your smile, one of a kind.
Thank you.
I remember showing my mom like some of your videos too, and she was dying. And my mom always wore like big glasses, and she always like still did up until like she passed. And she would always be like, I got my water bugs on. And I'm like, Alex. Like, you know, we had always still talked about you. And even my brother that other day, I think your name came up and I was like talking about you too. And
tell him I said hey.
I will. TJ's still in the home. TJ's still in North Kakalaki too. Chilling it up. So maybe you guys will have to like meet up or something. You have to meet as well.
Yes.
Super, super sweet. And yeah, we've always just been hyping you up through the years. So I'm just like really happy to like have you on. Just people get a glimpse of you. My audience get a glimpse of you. They can follow Alx. It's just Alx James.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. You know, I like that branding.
Awesome.
People always ask me like, hey, what is your name on this and this? I'm like, it's always my name.
Yeah,
just keep it simple because too many things. If I do like Princess Victoria, like it's going to be all over the place. But
that was my literal AOL screen name. Princess Victoria XX RAR.
XXO RAR __.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, no, we're not doing all that.
No, but thank you so much for having me.
Yes, I'm so happy to talk to you. We're going to talk soon. I'll message you after this. But
sounds good.
Love you so much, and I'm glad we got to have this little chat.
You too. Thank you so much.
Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.